Oh.
Can you hear that noise? Is that your colostomy bag churning up the feces?
It's got worse.
Oh, God.
We've got people outside working, but I can, by the magic of plugins and software, I can get rid of that.
You can get rid of that?
I can get rid of that.
But that adds something to it. Oh.
It's got worse.
Are you wearing one of those butt plugs? Is your missus phone in your butt plug?
Oh, my God. Listen to it.
It's
got worse.
Jesus, do you notice it's spawning season on Shite Street?
Oh, what's happened?
There's eggs, millions of eggs. Like something's growing in Shite Street. You know, you get algal blooms and on like a coral reefs.
Yeah.
Certain times a year, the jizz and the egg, the whole thing ejaculates into the Atlantic. No.
Shite Street.
Shite Street is producing a blue egg. Millions of them. I don't know what's going to hatch.
Coral reef in the Atlantic.
Coral reef.
Your geography.
Coral reef in the Pacific.
My God.
Geography is not my strong point. No, what it is, some dirty, greedy, lazy, fucking, probably some shady landlord has emptied about 1.5 tons of polystyrene filler balls.
Oh.
And
that's
heap,
bad stuff.
A heap,
yeah.
and it has blown it's done deal, be covered in it now.
Oh my God.
If it meets the filler stuff from the insulating they're doing in the houses, we're in trouble. Could be a tsunami of polystyrene. Imagine drowning in like a 5 ton of polystyrene balls. That gets into your lungs.
That sounds awful.
Can the scene in the Witness?
Yeah.
But it was polystyrene. If somebody put you inside a gigantic
People say all the
beanbag.
time. They ask me all the time, what's wrong with you? At this point, I don't know.
Giant beanbag.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Folk in Scotland.
Jesus.
Today's subject.
You didn't take anything I said there seriously.
I ignored it all. Do you never notice that I just ignore you all the time?
It's an ecological disaster.
Ecological. Well, it's Shite Street. Nobody'll notice.
My dad once had Italians staying in their guest house.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them had one arm. They were Sicilian. But they were the guys that went up and down Scotland with dingy leather jackets. And they were approaching folk, want to buy a leather jacket. We used to say to my dad, ecological! No animal has been harmed in the making of this jacket. Ecological! But my dad's got one.
Did he get a deal?
No, they just gave him one.
Just gave him one.
They're worth a pound.
Yeah.
So, imagine somebody approaches you, I've got these leather jackets I need to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do you a good deal. I've always wanted a leather jacket. I'll buy one off a guy out of the boot of a car. An Italian dude, he'd one arm.
I was going through Lochee once, going home from here.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't. It was from work years ago. And a junkie, proper junkie. So they've got something for sale. No, I'm not interested.
Box of Magical Delight.
About 8 brand new Xboxes in their boxes. Wow. Where would you get them?
A shop.
Yeah, but it's not easy to steal them. 8 of them.
8.
And he was wanting 50 quid each.
Jesus, did you buy one?
No, I didn't.
I was going up Perth Road one time, this junkie's like, I need a bag, and it was just DVDs, and I had a look through them. Nothing I wanted, but suddenly the police just appeared, and the big sergeant had been a bit shitey with me. He says, if I'd bought one, I would have been in trouble. I
think you would have been in trouble, yeah.
I says, no, I didn't buy one.
Oh my God.
But is that illegal?
No, I think you'd be okay.
You'd say that?
There was a girl I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Sharmilla. I can say her name because she's a bit of a shit and I don't care.
Shit Miller, you could call her.
I could call her that. She was at first we got on, then she's just a very
like everybody in your life.
A very privileged person. But anyway, she was at St Andrews University and she was hated so much that other students broke in and stole all her stuff. Some of it was found in the water, right? And one day I went down to Groucho's. And all her CDs were there, right? And I was waiting to get them all back, right? But I phoned her and she was such a shit to me. I went, fuck you, and I just let it go.
Yeah.
But they still had her name and everything on her CDs.
What's her name in their CDs?
She had her name on everything.
Oh, did you have one of those machines?
Like I've got, I do it. But she had this metal drinks thing. And I had her name and address on it, and I thought that was weird. She was an unusual girl.
Well, when I was at Glasgow Uni in halls of residence, there was a guy there, Jamie, I can't remember his last name. He was a medic. Medics are weird. Itching to just stick their finger in your anus. That's what it's all about. It's all about the anus. And can you imagine what your room's like in halls of residence? Mine stank. Came out the window, had my milk and that hanging in.
Boys of a certain age.
Well, the milk hanging out the window, and there was just tea bags.
It doesn't really work.
No, it doesn't work. No, especially when you're facing the sun. No shortage of cottage cheese. On the sheets and in the milk.
Sexy.
Sexy. But his room was immaculate. You could have bounced a coin in his bed.
Oh, right, okay.
And he had models he'd taken from home of like Spitfires and that he'd made. He'd put together and painted from the roof. And then he had models of like a cockpit. And then he had little laminated folded signs he'd put down for the cleaning ladies just to say, Kim, please do not touch, delicate and all this shit. And of course we just used to go in his room and smash everything. He's probably killed people by now. He'll have shipmaned a lot of people.
I knew a girl, and she met this guy. She was telling me, I'm a grown woman. He's a grown man. I can't go around him anymore. He makes model aeroplanes.
That is weird.
Right? No, hold on. Eventually, I met this guy, and he got model aeroplane kits, but he made them into faces and stuff. He was unbelievably talented. And she just took it as, you're making model aeroplanes. He would make angels out of the wings.
Yeah, okay.
It was absolutely... but you'd have to spend a lot by getting lots of models to make one.
Well, unless you're Adam Savage and folk just give you shit.
But they were painted... It was incredible. His work was really good. But she just said, he makes model aeroplanes. And I thought, you fucking...
Some women just don't understand. I remember there was a guy that he would collect broken glass, bus shelters that had been smashed.
Okay.
And he'd make angels out of them, but they were shit.
They were shit. This week's subject. Okay. It's very relevant to me. It means nothing to you.
I'm on tenterhooks.
Bikes.
Who gives a shit?
Hold on.
That's for children.
Hold on.
No adult should be on a bike, near a bike, look at a bike.
Wait. I have a hernia. And I was told, don't ride bikes.
No, don't.
Right?
Don't ride anything.
Hold on. It turns out it's a fucking myth. Bikes don't cause or make hernias worse.
I have my doubts.
No.
3 people I know, serious cyclists, all got hernias.
Yeah, it doesn't cause it.
Is that thrusting?
Nope. Nope.
The bike, no. Where did you get this information from?
NHS.
The internet? Oh, did they?
Now, some of the exercises they say, cycling, walking, listen to this, jogging, swimming, all the things they said you can't do, it doesn't do anything. After studies...
So what gives hernias then?
Straining, lifting.
Life, just general life.
Lifting, weights,
Shiting.
stuff like that, yes.
Shiting.
Yeah, shiting.
Lifting.
Yeah.
Badly. Giving birth.
Or, as I did, I backflipped my bike deliberately.
So it was a bike that gave you a hernia?
Landed it. And no, it wasn't.
Okay.
Well, no, it was. Hold on. I was so happy when I landed it. It was a rough landing, but I stayed upright. You know what I'd done? I jumped off the bike
You say
in
the
happiness.
NHS.
Yeah.
But it's just Norrie's home surgery.
That's it.
And there's just a guy. He just washes
Norrie knows his stuff. He has a moustache.
He just gets a moist wipe. Right.
That's fine.
Assume that, get your feet in the stirrups.
I was
Derek.
so happy I landed. I jumped off the bike, held onto the handlebar, and came down on the handlebar. And apparently, after my scan, years later...
Came down on the handlebar.
I impaled myself right in the groin.
You came...
Because I landed on it and it hung in the air for a split second and then, pulled it. I was like, what the fuck?
You came down on the handlebar repeatedly?
Well, I've got scars all the way up my stomach, the way I landed on it. But the hernia is where it punctured. And I thought it was swollen. I thought, I've hurt myself. And it never went down. It was actually a hernia. I gave myself there and then. And it took until 5 years ago until it actually opened up a bit.
Your genital area must look like,
oh, it's not good.
You know Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro? You know his face?
A packet of knickknacks has been described as, but that's just from the ladies. And yeah, it's not good. So...
more like a Roysters.
Oh,
barbecue beef, getting bubbled.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Bubbled.
So, after finding this information out, I checked all over, and they're like, "Yeah, this is a
isn't
myth."
going to be some pro cycling. I'm not.
It's not pro
I'll speak
cycling.
about it, but I'm not doing a pro cycling
So
fucking
last night,
podcast.
I went and got my bike, which I haven't touched in years because I've been looking after
It's all
myself properly.
stewy. You were out in it
And I went out last night,
like
and
BMX
I just done a
band,
short 10 miles.
like BMX bandits.
It was great.
Were you sitting on the front in the?
I'm not ET because of my clothes. Don't start that. And I went out and I had the best time. But in the 5
The
years
best time.
since I've been out,
The cycling about Dundee was the best time.
yeah, I love cycling. So I got, and it's not even a proper bike. I've got a jump bike.
Did you have your
It's
hat?
for children.
Did you have a hard hat on?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Here's another thing though. In the time since,
Did you have a little car playing cards?
of course,
Oh.
but in the time
Uh-huh.
since I was last riding my bike,
Mm.
I now have no hair.
Ah.
My helmet hurt my head.
Oh no!
All the padding in it's all worn away, and I didn't realise.
I went riding one time.
A bike.
Horse riding.
Oh no, you don't do that.
And they couldn't get a fucking helmet for my big head, so they gave me this really small helmet, and it was crushing my head. And my horse just continuously stopped to shit and piss.
Oh,
I thought I'd be like John Wayne,
yeah.
and I thought I was just along the beach. Come on, Tonto. No, I just my head. Terrible.
I used to go across to, there's stables not far from here. The girl I knew had a horse there. I would go across.
You're one of those people that go to stables, are you?
Oh,
Cuts off their tails.
I didn't like it.
No,
I would never get
they've
on a
got
horse.
a strong smell.
Yeah, the urine, but I wouldn't get on a
No?
horse. I've got no interest. But they had these horses.
You'd hang out the back of a horse.
No, I would not. Calm down. And I used to get to play with the babies. You just got left
They're
on
called-
your own.
they're
They're
called
not
foals.
foals. They're babies. They act like babies. It's wonderful. So but I would just chill there for the day while my friend was away on her horse. But they had these horses for beginners, and they were the most highly trained things you could
They
imagine.
were donkeys.
You would get on them.
You
could get off them halfway. It was a bit like the Trans-Siberian Express. You could pull this way, that way. They'd go, we're going this way.
Right.
They'd go at a certain speed, and they would stop at the thing to help you get off, and then they would just start again, and they would just do this route
All
the
those
time.
horses will be dog meat now.
Probably.
I've eaten horse.
Probably.
Would never eat a donkey, but I'd eat a horse.
Eat a horse. But yeah, they were
But
lovely.
no cycling. There's nothing more
Uh-huh.
chilling to my blood than when I go into my work, I'm in the staff room,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear that, and it's somebody wearing those fucking cycling shoe
The
things.
shoes I hate.
And someone has decided to take up cycling, and they're fucking fat, middle-aged, paunchy, doughy bastard, and they're sheathed
They are sheathed.
sheathed in lycra.
Lycra.
And you
But
know how long the good thing is, it lasts about a month tops.
I do see this. I do. Well, the thing is, right, I haven't been on a bike in 5 years.
Right.
Right? That's a long, long time.
You know the last time I was on a bike? When I was a child.
Okay. So I get on the bike last night.
Like
And I go
14.
cycling, muscle memory, I'm away,
Oh, muscle.
having a great time. But I pass some people that have taken up cycling in their Lycra.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Now, I'm on a bike that's not made for speed in
No,
any way.
And you were passing them.
And I was just whizzing past. I'm not even going fast because I've got to take it easy.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, and they've got quite expensive bikes,
Oh,
very
no,
expensive.
Men never go half measures. They didn't buy a second-hand bike. They'll go and buy the most expensive.
My bike cost a lot,
Did it?
but it is nothing like these bikes.
No,
I've
no, no,
passed.
no.
I mean, my bike was about $1,300 all in.
Well, in Dundee, they're often on pavements. Now, adults should not be on bikes. The only people allowed on pavements on bikes are kids with
I
stabilisers.
disagree. It's very dangerous on the road.
I don't give a shit. It's a vehicle. I don't get out of their way. I don't get out of their way.
You should.
I just stand there and I'll stop. And I stand there and they'll be coming towards, ding, 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 ding.
Let them past.
No, I don't. I'll make them pass, but they'll go onto the road.
Well, the thing is, I'll go on the road and pass people. I'll do stuff like that.
The same thing goes for pensioners and those rascals. They get off. They're a vehicle on the road.
They're not a vehicle.
They're a vehicle.
Although in Lochee you think they would because they're
a
all
vehicle
on the road there.
There's a woman that's got so much tchotchkes on the front of her rascal. It's only on the front wheels.
Last
it's
year,
like festooned.
I was going home and I drove past the circle where I live, and there's an old guy stuck on the road. He's on the rascal. So I drive back park the car, and I go walking up. By this point, a van stops and the guy's out, so we're able to. They weigh a ton.
Oh, they're heavy.
So we're able to drag it back on the 3 wheels and get them off the road. And we're looking. We could see there's a wee bend, and we could try and get it back. I says, right. And they says, we've got some tools, so we all helped. And we're working away, and we're talking to the guy, and he's like, oh, right, that's great. And we're just going into Lochee, and I'm just he's like, must have been about 90. So we'll get it fixed. We put it down, went, that's it. And he drove off. He says, thank fuck, I thought it was going to be all day. I swear to God, I thought the guy was going to get in the van and just run right into him. He was so shocked. He was a guy probably in his 20s, you know, like builder type. And he was doing everything to help me. Had a sweat on, getting it all done. And the guy just fucked off. He says, thought it was going to be all fucking day.
I'd hunt that old fucker down.
I just laughed.
I'd garrot him.
I just laughed.
I'd garrot him.
I just laughed. I thought it was wonderful.
There's a woman goes about Dundee in a wheelchair, but she can walk. She's just lazy.
Right.
She's Big Lebowski. But her husband's disabled.
Okay.
And she's got his first wheelchair, and she just got one. It had a flat tire.
Still on it. There's a lot of
but in Dundee, you see, I've
just
seen
a piece.
Dundee, you see a lot of folk with one leg.
There's
more.
It's going less now.
No.
Do you think
you're
it's
not in the town as much as me?
Okay.
There's more one legs in Dundee now than there was when it was heavy industry.
Well,
it's all. I think it's. Jesus.
Did you hear that?
I don't know what that noise was.
It wasn't me.
It's like a fart. It was
a weird sound. Carry on.
I don't know. Yeah, no, it's just I don't know. I think it's maybe diabetes.
Yeah, you used to see a lot where I live.
Yeah,
and it was the drinking.
Yeah, it was the drinking,
and it was. I told you, my granddad. He was getting these balloons put in his leg to open the arteries up, and he was in hospital, but he snuck drinking.
Oh,
it killed him.
It's natural selection.
But when I say he's not drinking, he had 3 bottles of whiskey, and he had one in a winner. It was gone, and he just went to sleep, and that was it. All the drugs he was on, that just killed him.
Well, he's saved a bit of money, I suppose.
That's what I look at it.
Kind of civic.
He was a prick.
He was a despicable man.
That was him. I was walking into town once, and he saw me. And do you know how
you were a disappointment?
My own grandfather, I was 17.
My
own grandfather got my attention. He went, you, like that. So I just kept walking, but he came over. And he used to wear like a cravat and a soft hat at a jaunty angle.
Oh no!
He was one of right. Just you could imagine. And because I had long hair, he says, "Now I've been around the world. I've seen things. You don't need to lie to me. But are you one of those homosexuals?"
But he's got a cravat on and a jaunty hat. That's quite a gay look.
I've got a hoodie and long hair.
And his is a gayer look.
Oh yeah, but he was unaware of this.
Yeah.
So he says,
if you'd said to him, "But your look is extraordinarily gay," he would have. He'd probably had a stroke.
He probably would have died there and then. Yeah. And he says, "You're one of those homosexuals, aren't you?" And I went, "Yeah," as a 17-year-old would.
Yeah.
And just went, "Yeah," and then just kept walking. Apparently, he was on the phone to my mum. He was going, and she's going to him, "Dad, he's just being him. Just ignore it."
That generation.
But she was kind of like, "Well, wait a minute. What if he was gay?" And he goes, "Oh, he is gay, and he is not gay. It was homosexual."
Okay,
that's the way it was said. Homosexual, 2 words. And I was out the will, so I didn't get one bashed medal that he stole off a German.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That was it. But that was never spoke to me again.
My mate Ross, you've not missed much. My mate Ross, his ex-policeman grandfather used to call gay people twanks.
That doesn't mean anything.
I think he mixed up with twinks. But he wore a cravat and he had a wig. He was extraordinarily gay, I think. We reckon he was just very, very, very closeted and just.
Yeah. I think
it's been it's been a far more common thing back in the day.
Yeah, to be like that and closeted. Yeah,
but be closeted, but just don't be so self-hating. Self-loathing is the most.
It's a very dangerous,
the strongest hate, isn't it?
It's a destructive thing.
Basically, all the horrible stuff that happens in the world is people self-loathing people.
I hate semolina. What does that say about myself?
You know what I mean? When you attack people and want to destroy them and grind them out of existence, because you see something in yourself you don't like in them.
Oh, that's the mirror of the soul, isn't it?
It's pretty simplistic stuff.
Yeah. It's like people say, if there was a mirror to the soul, would you look in it?
Yeah.
I'd be happy to, because I'm disappointed with my own.
Well,
one.
I don't
It'll
believe
make
in.
no difference.
I don't believe in souls.
Well, the philosophical soul.
Well, okay.
If you could see yourself truly as you are and not as you put on, would you look at it?
All existence is just a big fucking lie. Everybody's lying to themselves and lying to everybody else. That's how society works. To be incredibly honest,
it doesn't
Jesus
work.
Christ,
No.
that's why I get in trouble at my work, because if I don't like somebody, I don't really want to speak to them. But everybody else who equally or more dislikes a person more or equal to how much I dislike them will smile and say all the shit.
I don't do that. I just
see-
ignore people.
Yeah, so that's what I try and do, but people won't have it. You have to. People insist. Now, I see more of some people than I do my own family, and it kind of disgusts me. And I don't want to hear about all their bullshit. I don't want to hear about their kids. I don't want to hear about their fucking ailments. I don't want to hear about their aspirations. I don't want to hear about their holidays. I was in the work the other day, and there was 3 old women, 3 Dundee women. I hate Dundee people. I've decided.
Oh, okay.
I suffer them, but they were going on about iceberg lettuce. 3 of them for half an hour. All chipping in about iceberg lettuce. They weren't sure of it. It's been around for a spell. It's new to them. Weren't sure of it. And then they segued on to fish. They'd all bought fish, and it was too big, and they just couldn't eat it. And I was just like, what the fuck are you going on about?
What are you talking about?
And then they came in and they just looked at stuff and didn't like
anything.
But yeah, I think they had been pals. You could tell they'd been pals since school. They were women in their 60s. They had been having the same monotonous, terrible conversation for decades. And I bet you the 3, judging by the venom they had for iceberg lettuce, I doubt very much they liked each other. Iceberg lettuce is just meh. It's just a crunch.
It exists.
It's a crunch. There's no particular flavour. It adds crunch to a sandwich.
You say you don't believe in souls.
Aye.
But I would say if any vegetable didn't have a soul, it's iceberg lettuce.
No, celery.
No, celery's
you can starve to death on celery.
Yeah, but it's too strong.
It takes more energy to digest than you releases.
But I'm aware of it. I don't like it.
I love celery.
I don't like it. It really puts me
a
off.
bit of celery. God, here's us speaking about food. I'm as bad as those fucking
iceberg
Dundee
lettuce I love, and it doesn't have a soul.
I like a Lady Gem lettuce.
Oh. In a pack of 2?
No, 3. I like a 3 pack.
The 3-pack.
I'll cut them in half. Have you ever just eaten
I'll eat an iceberg lettuce on its own.
Have you ever taken a big iceberg lettuce and filled it with chilli or anything and just used the lettuce as a sandwich?
I do exactly that. Well, I actually put it on a buttery.
Aye.
Lettuce, chili sauce.
No, stop.
Wonderful.
What you're eating is a Dundee equivalent of a buttery. It's not a buttery. It's a disgusting thing.
No, the ones that you eat are cardboard that can't be cut in half.
The one I'd call them an Aberdeen, and I'm not calling them an Aberdeen roll. I'm calling them an Aberdeen roll. They're just disgusting. They're soft. You can pliable. They're bendy. That's not a buttery. No,
a buttery must not be hard and crusty. It's like a slate off the roof.
They rebranded them as the Doric Croissant.
It is not a croissant.
There's been a lot of buttery talk on Twitter of late, and I've been loving it.
Bikes.
But people that know properly, a rowie. It's a rowie. No, bikes.
Okay, the point was, I'll get back to my story. That's very important to me. I said I got on the bike, muscle memory. I go on a route that I love. It's all good paths and that.
Yeah.
Because it's been 5 years, a lot has changed.
Oh, is it?
There's lots of cycle paths everywhere.
Oh, wonderful.
And when I got into the city centre, because I wasn't thinking, of course I know what's changed there, but when I went on my normal route, completely different.
Bloody hell.
Completely different place.
That's terrible.
And it was kind of, and I saw it with genuine new eyes. It's not pretty.
No, it's not.
It's not.
I was in the town the other day.
I was really upset by it, actually.
In the centre of Dundee. Because you're at your normal height. A bike, you give a bit, it's like being, if you're riding a horse, a steed, or a donkey in the countryside, it's like being on an elephant in India. Nature ignores you, so you can get closer up views of stuff.
Understood. Okay.
So when you're on a bike, you're seeing things from a different perspective. Dundee city centre, something is desperately needing done about it.
Oh, the centre.
Like the premier street in Dundee is Reform Street, and it's just nothing's there.
Dead.
It's charity shops, and I've noticed the whole city centre is sticky. There's big sticky patches.
They've not cleaned it.
They're not clean.
Well, this was the thing. I got going towards the railway station from the Tay Bridge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of neon lights now.
Yeah.
but it's just a hotel and it's just an ugly building.
The shopping experience is done.
And even though I don't like the V&A, you can't see it anymore.
No.
So I ride up through Slessor Gardens and I go up into the city centre. I was the only one there.
Jesus.
It was 9 o'clock at night.
Jesus.
I was the only person there.
Historically, Dundee's not wanted people in the centre.
But my God.
Yeah. But
it's never been like that.
There's next to Mickey D's is an old bank. And the cash machine's been taken out.
Okay.
And there's a piece of chipboard been nailed on.
Yeah.
And that is the Junkie Telegraph. That's where
I've seen all the notes on it. I know what you're talking
it's like
about.
There's memorials to people who've passed.
I've seen the notes. They're all communicating.
And
there's pictures of crosses and...
Yeah. It's awful. And it
weird,
smells.
And it's like someone's got a bit of A4 and done like a gravestone and crosses and red pen.
A list of people who've died. Jesus Christ. But on the Reform Street, you've got the Ann Summers. You buy your crotchless knickers. You've got maybe 3 or 4 charity shops.
Okay.
You've got some of the Dundee's Worst pub that was selling like fake alcohol in small measures. And then about, would you say 6 or 7 empty premises?
Oh, they're all empty. I was really shocked because
I've
really
not
empty.
Been in. Yeah, and there's a kind of coffee shop full of mums breastfeeding, and that's it.
That's it. No, I went through last night.
Because there was
stunned.
remember there was a wines. What was the off license called? Something wines.
Can't remember.
But it's been shut for. There's been nothing in there.
See, I didn't realise
there's
all these places
vaping
were gone.
shops. There's vaping shops.
Right, but I was really shocked last night. I was the only person. So I rode the bike all the way up to the Wellgate.
Yeah.
2 people were just walking.
Jesus.
And there's but it wasn't just... It was quiet in a weird way I've never experienced.
Yeah.
I could hear my bike.
You go to Edinburgh,
it was
and
strange.
There's cafes, there's people.
There's always something happening.
There's coffee shops late in the evening. There's just stuff. There's music coming out of places. It's people just milling about.
And even though
Dundee's
we
not.
are a small city, there's plenty of people to keep that city centre going at night and everything.
Folk have got out of the habit of going to the city centre. People in the city centre now are basically junkies who are there all the time.
All the time,
fighting their little... When I was walking home last night, these junkies... It's women, phone the police, I've been assaulted! And I was like, what? And now if it had been a woman being assaulted or someone being going on, I'd have helped.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's these 2 big muscly guys out jogging, and they'd seen the commotion. Help us! And they ran across, and it was just junkies squabbling.
Just squabbling.
Now, I was of the belief, you know how there's a common thing now, folk get like touched like that. You get a push.
Yeah.
You've assaulted me.
Yeah.
I thought to junkies that's nothing. I thought taking a brick in the head is just a greeting for a junkie. When they say they've been assaulted, they've been stabbed 40 times.
Yeah.
You know, fucking hell, I've been assaulted. No, there was just some skirmish going on between all these people. So these guys went across and like, what? How can we help? What? And he saw them going, fuck you lot, and left.
Yeah.
It was mental.
I was thinking about when I was a kid and used to go to the cinema at night in the city centre.
Oh, yeah. I was there a couple of times before it shut.
And you had the...
Sticky carpets.
The ABC,
Yeah, brilliant though,
and then you had the Vic that closed in 89. That was a long time ago. And there was always a cinema. There was one in the Wellgate.
Yeah.
Right, I went to see Highlander there that you hate.
Okay.
So when you would go down... there was always people about. When you came out of the cinema, there was people about. There was always something happening. It was very vibrant.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's weird.
There's nobody.
People have got out of the habit of going to the town.
I was really shocked.
And I think for years, the businesses down there have paid bribes, so they don't want things opening. They were wanting a casino in the town, and they didn't want it. And then they don't want pubs.
Yeah.
They want the centre empty because they're worried there'll be drunken people damaging their property. I think that's what it is.
Oh my God. I've never seen it like that.
And every time they try and reopen a cinema in the town, people fucking argue against it. Like they wanted a new cinema and the DCA campaigned to not have a cinema.
And it's not like they're pulling in the cash from their cinema.
The Perth Road, daytime, there's a bit of a bump. There's people going about, there's like little delis, and there's a Nardini's ice cream shop. But at night, it kind of dies off.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? My mate was out drinking in Dundee on Saturday night. He said it was dead. He said it was really dead. Some of them were appalling pubs were packed, but he says generally it was dead. It's weird.
It's a really strange thing. But then I was riding home and there was more people walking on the Lochie Road up and down it than there was in the city centre.
That's really weird.
And there was two things last night. Going into Dundee, I saw it with fresh eyes, genuinely.
Yeah.
What have they done? It's a disaster.
It'll be, I would imagine, the rates and rent to pay on a premises in the Reform Street will be crippling.
They're 52.4% on the pound.
Yeah, you won't be able to afford the business.
And some of these places are like 100 grand.
You'll never
so you're
afford
50 grand.
Mickey
52 grand a year.
Mickey D's will cover that easily, but if you had charity shops won't have to pay that.
The rates on this unit are 48.5% on the pound.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're so expensive.
I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know how Dundee can turn it around. The donkey has bolted. People aren't shopping in the centre anymore. They're not going to go back to it.
Well, a shop, Samuel's, that was a jeweller and that.
Yeah.
There for 100 odd years.
Yeah.
They're gone, and now another jeweller's open, but there's literally nobody there. I don't know. It doesn't sell anything.
No.
It's the strangest thing.
Right, okay.
I don't understand what's going on.
You go into the Overgate's the Wellgate's dead. There's a food court. Nobody's there. Nobody's eating tatties in Dundee.
Yeah.
But the Overgate, they'll be a wee bit
the Overgate
speedier. They'll chore a wee bit more to get people in.
The last few times I've been in the Overgate,
is there empty premises?
Slowing down.
Right, okay.
It's slowing down dramatically.
Right.
And I was like, because was it Debenhams have shut?
Yeah.
And they've had trouble filling that.
Right, okay.
So there's units that are having trouble filling.
No businesses are wanting, those big tent pole businesses are done.
120 grand a year for a unit.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
Oh my God.
There's times I've gone into Overgate in the past, it's been packed. Absolutely packed.
It's not what it used to be.
No.
And it's...
Yeah. Because they've got little pancake things, so there's people... They've created a street indoors.
Well, that's what you have to remember. It is condensed, so it will feel packed.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It's not people milling about doesn't pay your rent. People have got to buy shit.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned for Dundee at the moment.
But I thought the V&A was going to turn everything around.
The V&A is losing money. The V&A is not successful.
I'll tell you what's doing well. The cafe, the little booth outside the V&A, he sells a lot of coffee.
Yeah, that's someone not there is doing well.
Yeah.
I think if the V&A...
Have you seen it? There's a cafe in the V&A. First thing you see when you go into this like high-end museum is a shitty cafe.
A shitty cafe,
and you get it's paper plates. It's paper plates.
Isn't it terrible?
And no, so it's ecological paper plates. So it's like, just give us a fucking ceramic plate.
So it's a plate.
It's a plate. Reuse it.
Go wash it.
Go and wash it.
The place that was gone, I think you'll remember it. It was Littlewoods. In the cafe up there.
Yeah.
And they had the tray that was on a conveyor belt that would go, that was magical.
Littlewoods, I was in that cafe a few times. It wasn't too bad.
You would go in and couldn't get a seat in there.
Aye.
And there was 200 seats. You couldn't get a seat.
What's happened is a lot... Dundee's economy was always financed with old ladies shopping.
Yes.
And sitting about and cat. Has a lot of them been culled?
I don't know what it is. I don't...
Even old folk have decided, I'm shopping online. My mum and dad buy...
Right. Now, my mum, 80, right? She may not shop online, but she gets me to do it.
Yeah.
So she'll put her tablet on, find something, I'll go and buy it.
Yeah.
So she's technically shopping online now, and she prefers it.
Right.
Now, when this happened to her the first time, she bought something about 7 o'clock at night. The next morning, it was at the door.
Oh, fuck, I'll blow her mind.
What is the point of going out? What is the point of going? She says, nobody enjoys going in the town.
No, they don't.
Nobody enjoys going shopping. If you can have the item that you want delivered to your door.
It's the choice.
If she's 80.
No, but why you can't go to a shop and look at stuff on a shelf and you've got to make do with something and it's more expensive. Or you can pick anything you want. I don't know how businesses get to compete with that. Unless it's unique. Like Fangoria magazine.
Yeah.
There's articles that I've not signed up to, but Fangoria magazine, the articles in that magazine are only available in that magazine. So they're trying to make a unique and interesting thing that people will buy, like to keep and treasure. So you could have a shop where it was unique to you. you're a jeweller and the only place you could buy it was in that shop.
Your shop is kind of like that.
Yeah, you try and buy.
But yours is like that. But look at me. I make things that are incredibly unique for a
Yeah,
very niche
yeah,
market.
yeah.
I will not sell one in a shop.
No, why? Of course you won't. Why are you getting?
You won't do it.
But people, like there's people we know from this building who've decided to get themselves a shop for fashion.
Oh,
and that
disaster.
they don't need it. It's just for an ego to have a place to show off.
See, there is places, there are shops. Say you're a seamstress,
Yeah,
and you're working on clothes and stuff like that. Get a little unit,
yeah,
a shop, a front door. You will do well. I think they're going backwards. You need old traditional skills can be available.
yeah.
But if you're needing a phone case,
the good thing is
buy it online.
People's got to that stage now. They do like to mend stuff. It's become fashionable again. People like to repair things.
Okay, you'd think I need a bike.
Right.
We're talking about bikes. I was looking online. I was looking at an electric bike. I can get it. There's a place sells them locally, and I can get it £400 cheaper.
Jesus.
Delivered by a specialist bike delivery service.
I know.
And it's all pre-set up under their inspection. So you're getting a bike, the guy brings it into you, and you're ready to go. Or you could go down locally, have to set it up yourself, or pay to get it set up for a lot more money.
You could say, I suppose, if you built a relationship with that local person, you could nip in and he would fix it. Can I mean, if you bought it from him, you'd hope he would be willing to can fix it for you.
There is that.
Is that?
But okay, I'm online
still,
and I have relationships with lots of the customers who will have to come back and they're like, oh, great to talk to you again. And you just, don't worry, just send it and I'll fix it for you for free.
But you build
that exists.
My shop on eBay, you build relationships with people who've bought stuff, and you do, So it is like a shop front.
Here's the next thing:
right.
The relationship I have with that person is in the States.
Yeah,
is in London.
Yeah,
and they can't just drive up to get something fixed, so they send it. And it's cheaper, it's easier, and they get it fixed. They'll go, don't worry, it's just for free.
Dundee just can't support niche businesses like that.
I don't think so.
You could get away with it in parts of Edinburgh. There's money. Of course you can. But no, I don't see the solution to Dundee.
Dundee's the awkward child.
Yeah.
Too big to be small and too small to be big.
Yeah.
So how do you cope with that? You certainly don't build a massive waterfront development.
Yeah.
Because, it's going to bring people in.
They're hoping it's get a piggyback. Everything's get a piggyback. I don't know.
I don't think it will. I think they will off of Eden.
Yeah, I think Eden's... Yeah.
I think the Eden project's going to be huge for Dundee.
That's a part of town. It's an eyesore and it'll be nice to get it fixed. Yeah.
I would have preferred it in Camperdown.
No.
Because Camperdown is falling apart.
Camperdown can fuck off. I'm not going all the way to Camperdown. No.
If you had a bike, it'd be 5 minutes away.
I'll never cycle there. Don't be so ridiculous.
Why don't you have a bike?
I don't want one. I can't stand them. Where would I keep a bike?
In your house.
I'm not taking it up and down the stairs.
I've got flights of stairs. I have to carry mine up.
You're an idiot. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
And if I get an electric bike, it weighs a ton.
I hate those wee fold-away bikes. What are those English bikes?
Oh, Bromptons. Yeah, I hate them.
They just look like prickish bikes. They're the prick of the bike.
They're not safe.
You get wee electric Bromptons.
Yeah, I don't like them.
No?
They're bad seating positions. They're not safe.
They'd give you a hernia.
They're not good. I don't like them. Too small wheels.
Yeah, you need a big wheel.
My wheels are 26 inch, which are kind of disappearing because they're all bigger wheels now.
Okay, they're bigger.
But I like them for jumping.
Right,
I'm not going to jump anymore. I promised everyone that I'm not going to jump. I'm not going to jump because I fall more than I land.
Oh dear God!
But I'm eager.
You're eager.
I'm keen.
This is your latest thing.
What?
You go through phases of stuff. I've noticed this. You fluctuate from one thing.
I fluctuate from what? I don't go through phases of anything.
You do. You moved on to the next thing, and it's
what have I moved on from?
Oh fuck no, someone else. Hats.
Everything I do.
I'm scratching here. I'm scratching here. Don't know.
I stick to everything I do.
Okay.
Okay. My bike has been well cared for, even though I couldn't ride it. I love my bike.
You thought about getting a penny farthing?
You get them. You get new versions.
Oh, you'd look like a right prick, wouldn't you?
Oh, what an arsehole.
They'll be going about St Andrews knows penny farthings.
Yes. I saw one. I was up in Aberdeen and I saw someone going along the Esplanade. You get
electric ones as well.
Do you?
But did they not call them velocipedes?
No, velocipedes were two wooden wheels, and you just ran.
They ran.
You know the toddlers when you see them with their bike and they just run.
In my hometown. There's a brae, a hill beside it was a private house, and then I think it became a hospital during the war with burns victims in the Second World War. And then there's the brae next to it, and it says no perambulators.
Oh my God!
You're not allowed to take a perambulator down.
No perambulators.
Perambulators.
That's amazing.
Yeah. No, there's a mate of mine, John, in this building. He's older than me, but he's got this pretty decent lecky bike, and he loves it.
I am looking at electric bikes
because it's a heavy fucker.
Yeah,
but he says it puts enjoyment into it. He says he's out more in it if it's just a push bike.
You use 2 to 3% less energy on an electric bike.
Yeah.
But the difference is when you come to a hill, you just tear up at 15 miles an hour. Now, last night, because I hadn't been on a bike for a long time, and I was going up the Lockheed Road.
Come up my hill.
Oh, I do that. I go up Constitution Road.
Tell me the next time you're coming up.
And
just tacks. One of those stingers across the road.
Oh.
I just put a piano wire for 2 lampposts.
Well, that worries me. There's a lot of places I go that are dark and you're just waiting on it.
Just waiting.
But no, you imagine you just get to a hill that's a bit hard and you just go up it without any effort. That's got to be wonderful. I've never ridden one, but I've been looking at them.
Because I think a lot of cyclists are kind of masochistic. They like the torture of it. They like the endorphins.
Yeah,
they like to feel the burn.
The pain of it last night wasn't good, but in general,
seemingly a lot of women who cycle too much are destroying their vaginas.
Mine's is ruined.
Yeah,
I get a wasn't.
Yeah, no,
I didn't used to get that before.
A lot of women are getting destroyed vaginas.
I used to go surfing with my mates in Aberdeen, and I'd throw the bike on the back.
Right.
They would drive home from Aberdeen. I would cycle home.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I used to love it, and that was after a day's surfing.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love it.
But look at the state you now.
When I went to Perth College
to yourself.
For a year, I went there, and every day I cycled there and cycled back. I was never late.
When Jimmy Savile. When he was younger,
it's not a comparison.
When he was younger than you, and he started Jim Will Fix It, he was ferocious. He didn't have a hernia.
I am not Jimmy Savile.
No, I'm saying you're weaker than Jimmy Savile.
I'm weaker.
Jimmy Savile was more robust.
He had a better mental fortitude.
Someone mental about him.
But no, I love my bike and I love cycling.
Who's a celebrity cyclist? There's that Bradley Walsh. No, what's his name? Sir Bradley Wiggins.
He went sideburns.
Well, he's got rid of that. He's the only man that's not stuck with his mod cut.
Oh, thank God!
He's got sleeves. But he's a cheating bastard, allegedly. But I think he was up to capers.
Everyone was.
All cyclists are up to shit.
You had to be.
You can't compete at a high level.
My favourite thing. I was watching a race and I saw it for myself. It was a cycling race live. And there was an accident, and one of the bikes, it was accelerating the back wheel.
These ingenious electric
unbelievably
motors.
Good.
Yeah,
the money that goes in. You can't even buy them easily now.
They were getting replugged with their own blood. They were getting their blood taken out, oxygenated, and then given back to them.
So how did they control these bikes? Because you can't have controllers.
No.
So in the gears, you would go tap 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 tap. And it was little codes
just
you would
giving
do.
You that edge.
A slight edge.
Just nothing.
And the thing is, they say in this country, they go, we don't get a lot of power in bikes, because you're only allowed assisted, you're not allowed a throttle.
Right.
And you're only allowed assisted, and it's 250 watts. That's what a top cyclist athlete can put into a bike. So you don't need a lot for a top athlete to get a slight edge.
Yeah.
So it's a tiny battery in the frame, and this little vertical motor with a wee cog.
And it's just giving you a wee...
So what they do now is they use thermal cameras, and the bikes that go past red hot, they went right.
Cheating like fuck.
Anything to win. Yeah. Isn't that incredible?
Oh no, they'll say to people, you'll win a gold medal, but it'll take 20 years off the tail end of your life, and they'll do it. They're obsessed with it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. You watched that Lance Armstrong thing, the documentary. He's just an absolute turd.
He was a turd.
But he was a bully as well. He was a bully,
yeah, that's what I was about to say. He was a piece of shit.
You think you'd keep your head down, but these guys who are at capers, the ego is so vast.
Ego was out of control.
It's just nuts. They're on good money as well.
When you see the teams, and they've got the teams the year of 100 million.
Yeah.
You're like... Yeah, they'll do anything to win.
The British cycling team were dominant. They were just unbelievable. But it turned out the guy...
Jet engines in there.
No, it was the manager was just beasting them. He was just like a monster.
Yeah.
But they said, he's bullying me, and he's gone, and the team's shit. They need somebody... These people are like just horses, and you just thrash the fucker.
Thrash them until they win.
You don't let them think. Since when does a cyclist need to think? That what they call the pedodome they go round. But like, there's no thought. You're just muscles. You're just your leg muscles. You're just legs.
Oh,
eventually a cyclist is just going to be these legs. It's going to be
with two eyes on it.
It's going to be something out of like Yellow Submarine.
Oh,
that'll be
God.
the next stage of human evolution.
I've never wanted to cycle at that where you want to compete, because cycling's fun, and when you see the people that are competing. And they're wearing their lycra and they're going out with 20, 30, 40 of them.
Cyclists they look like the least healthy people alive.
I don't like them.
They're just that sinewy look.
Yeah, I don't like those people.
Somebody I knew some years ago was working at the National Portrait Gallery in Edinburgh, and they were doing a portrait of Chris Hoy. And they were like approaching him to try and do something interesting. And I think, no, I want to... he likes his tartan. I think he wanted himself in a kilt or something.
Okay.
He's not an imaginative person. So when he's cycling about, he's not thinking about someone interested. He'll just be like a metronome. He'll just be tick, 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 tick. And his muscles.
All the intelligence of
the brains in his knees are like that. Push, Chris, push. Little Chris is like, fuck's sake. Who watch the French like their cycling?
Do you watch the Tour de France?
Why the fuck would I don't watch any sport.
I love it.
Garbage.
It's great.
Garbage.
It's magical.
It's not magical. They're all cheating.
Yeah, it is.
Have you seen Have you not Sarkozy? Macron. Have you seen his latest picture of him? He's
bit of hair, wee bit. It's very breathy hair coming over the top of his shirt.
His wife's 70-year-old.
That's true.
He was mincing about in like a tactical uniform because he's a bit jealous of Zelensky, and he's like, oh God, he's getting a lot.
See, that's how I could be a leader now. I wear hoodies. But my hoodies are usually bright pink and stuff. Is that the same?
Imagine the tension of that Zelensky guy, because there'll be death squads.
Oh,
you and I aren't popular, but there's no death squads going about Dundee to pick.
Not many.
Not many.
God,
I've fallen out with people, but Christ Almighty, there's no
you
sniper.
See, the problem is you're the death squad.
I'm
you're the one
death
that holds the grudge.
The snipers. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
God, it's awful. It's awful.
Just terrible stuff.
But I think to be a leader now, it's a hoodie. My time has come.
Yeah.
My people, they speak to me wearing a hoodie.
God.
I'm the leader. That's why I get all the abusive emails and you don't. I'm wearing the hoodie.
You're the leader.
It's the hoodie.
You're the lightning rod. You're taking the strikes. There's a guy on YouTube and he does, I think, straight line stuff. Not those straight line people, straight edge people, straight line. So you'll see Wales, and on the map he'll draw a straight line.
All right, yeah.
And it's it's a competition he's invented purely for himself, and he's to stick to it.
Yeah.
He can't deviate for the line. His latest one is like no roads. So he's going like 10 miles, but he can cross a road, but he can't walk down a road. So he's going down sewage outlets and all that, and through. But he's wearing full camo. And there's one bit, he goes, oh, this fence is a bit secure, and it's a big, tall fence with spikes. He gets over it. He's in the playing fields, and there's these kids playing, and suddenly this man, it's like Hungerford. Suddenly this man appears, and he's wondering why people are a bit off with him. Imagine you're at a school fete, and a guy in camouflage just runs across.
Knocking kids over because they're in the straight line.
Fucking way.
Over the bouncy castle.
But I don't know why he does it, but he goes over the roof of this Primark, and then he goes through people's businesses, and he gets a bit indignant when folks say, "Get the fuck away from here!" The only reason I want a Doberman to kill him. I want somebody to take him down.
There's a guy I think I mentioned before, Ali Law.
Okay,
and
he's a cyclist.
No, and he
does all this jumps.
Yeah, but
how old's he? 12 or something?
No, he's 20 odd. But what he does,
but he does jumps and stuff on his bike, like
no bikes.
Plays.
No bikes.
Oh, no bikes.
No bikes. And he goes.
He's not a parkour guy.
Yeah, well, the kinda, because what they turned into is they just sneak into buildings and climb to the top, and sneak into buildings and they shut overnight and they.
There's overnight
challenge.
There's a kind of Russian dude on YouTube, and he wears a mask all the time, and he'll go up like cranes, and
this is what they do.
oh,
and they're
it's
on
fucking
buildings
nuts.
in London and that really dangerous stuff, and it's really extraordinary to watch him. But if he was in your building overnight, you just cave his fucking skull in. I do understand.
I understand.
People get annoyed, but it is.
Well, the problem is,
amazing
say
to watch.
He's in something and gets him selling a pickle. People have to risk their life to save him.
Yeah.
That's why I've got a thing like people go, but mountain rescue should be a paid service. We should pay tax for that. No. It should only be it's donations, because like it's folk, they're up there and they need to be rescued, then they've got to pay for the privilege.
You're a cynical person.
No. They said one mountain rescue guy said, he says they don't judge people. So when they take somebody down, but he says somebody dislocated their thumb and they couldn't get down off the mountain.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, but he says they do it. But it's like the boat people.
They should be paid.
They rescue people from fucking. There was a guy, I think I told you this before. He's in Dundee in a little canoe, and his paddle was made out of a length of bamboo and two ice cream pots lids,
right?
And that was his.
And that was it.
And they broke, and he was just like fucking drifting.
Just let them go.
They know they're volunteers as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're volunteers.
Some of the shit you hear about rescues from like the boat, the lifeboat service. Coast Guard. Coast Guard. No, the Coast Guard's different from lifeboat service. Yeah, the Coast Guard are paid. Because that's people try to sneak into the country and drugs.
Okay.
But
I'm learning.
Yeah, the lifeboat. But they used to paddle out. They used to row out.
Yeah.
And seas like
very
you would,
famously they died here, didn't they?
Seas like you would not believe. And these men have just like, fuck it, it's incredible.
Was it 100 years ago or something?
I wouldn't have saved anybody's life.
And they went out, the bar?
Yeah.
Here at the end of the day. Yeah. And they got there. And now the bar is a sandbar that goes out from the Fife side, right across half the Tay. And the waves that pick up there, man, you can't believe it.
I like these kind of...
Killed them all.
I kind of like these muscular charities. You know what I mean?
Muscular men.
No, I'm speaking about fortitude. Like, that's why I'm a big fan of the Salvation Army. It's muscular.
What?
It's the Salvation Army. They're not this frou-frou charity.
Okay.
They're like that. Poor people are in a bad situation. They get a clean bed and they get a plate of stovies. I like that. It's simple. It's no nonsense. A lot of charities become so, they're just about people's happiness. We'll get some scented candles.
And we know that there's a lot of charities around here that are just nonsense.
Unfussy charities, and I like them.
Charities that actually are effective.
They do the most good, I think. Mm-hmm. It's tangible, like a soup kitchen.
Well, God, I like to argue with you, but I would give to certain charities every month. And I've since found out that a lot
goes in their salaries. Bullshit. There's one that's popped up. There's one that's popped up.
Disappointing.
Have you seen the one that's on ITV? You win a house. Maze it's called.
No.
And I looked into. I tried to find some stuff on the internet, and it's dubious to me. So you put in. It's a lottery.
Right. Okay.
You buy a ticket.
Okay.
And it goes in. You get the chance of getting this £3 million house, but obviously so many people have given money to it, so it changes. It was like a children's cancer charity that got the money the last time.
Okay.
This time it's RSPCA, and they always have a celebrity who's promoting the thing. So they've paid this celebrity. There's a big house, but I wonder where that money goes. I'd be interested.
It's always charity is very suspicious.
They get so big.
I was never suspicious of charity until I came into this area.
Yeah,
and all the charities
millions
here
of them.
Bullshit.
Well, it's not for profits in particular.
Not for profits are bullshit, and charities around here are bullshit. Every single one of them.
I can understand a food kitchen.
And it's just
people donate food. It's collected. It's served up. I can't see. It's volunteers. But yeah, there's too many people. People see a not for profit as a way to make money for themselves, so they make profit.
They do.
They see it. They're not doing anything else. That's their job.
Wages are not profit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And bonuses and all this. It's a very dodgy area.
There's too many. They need to streamline charities. I don't know why there's like the donkeys, for example. One donkey, big donkey. That's that.
Big donkey at the top.
All that money goes there.
As
a donkey sat somewhere smoking a cigar with a top hat.
I can't go into details.
Okay, here we go.
But I'm very aware of someone had something they owned, and every year they have to pay tax on it.
Right.
So they put it on display, but to put it on display, they registered it as a charity, and they get funding to show something that they own they don't need to pay tax on because it's open to the public.
Yeah, but that's a common one with wealthy people.
Isn't that awful?
Like all the toffs in their stately homes, they open their stately home once every 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a museum. So you don't have to pay. I'd have them all dragged out of their stately homes.
Do you remember the Mark Thomas comedy project?
Yeah.
And he was looking at people that owned art.
Yeah.
And
what happened to him?
I don't know. He was really good, but they made
He himself was a little bit annoying.
Yes.
That was his problem. Mark Steele's better.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
More palatable.
So they made an appointment with this rich guy who had this work of art, and by law, you had to show people.
Mm-hmm.
But
he had it in his own house.
He had it in his own house.
Yeah.
So you had to let people in to see it, or he had to pay tax on it.
Yeah.
So on the way there, they went past the Star Trek convention and asked everyone to come along. So they had Klingons, they had Jean-Luc Picard's, everyone, and he had to let them in. The next week he paid tax on it.
Yeah.
Pieces of shit.
I despise stuff like that. It just infuriates me.
That was Mark Thomas that went to a weapons trade show, and he opened up a stall, and they were media that would make any country in the world look good if they're carrying out war crimes. So loads of people come across saying, well, we're doing that, how do you make us look good? And he got them admitting what they were doing. He says, so here's how we'd fix it. On camera.
But
unbelievable.
But there's real things. That's
unbelievable, yeah.
Reputation, like laundrettes. There's people, they employ people like that, don't they?
Insane. Frightening.
Fucking
He
hell.
went to Oxford and that as well. And he was pretending he was Secret Service. And they were recruiting people, but they were asking them, would you kill people? Would you garrote them? Would you stab children? They're all going, yeah, well, I'll do that. Anything to be in. It's just pieces of
what
shit.
did happen to him?
I'd like to know. His very last show, I think they were given £10,000 per show to make it. And he said he's going to put it all on a horse so they could have this massive show, but he lost, so he had to do it from his front room. And that was the last show, so I think that was it.
A lot of these shows are a bit toothless now. They're all Guardian readery things.
Yeah.
They've lost that. There's that The Last Leg. You know that one? That started really well. I enjoyed it.
I've got a theory.
They become the establishment, maybe?
Right. See, a journalist.
Yeah.
People hate journalists now. Journalists used to be a lowly, low-paid, working class job.
Mm-hmm.
And working class people would get maybe to a better school slightly, and then they'd get into this job, and then it becomes closed off because it goes to the upper middle classes, the rich, and then they close it off. They don't represent the poor, they don't represent the working man, and it's a closed off club. And that's what journalism's become. And that's how it's changed. You look at the how people used to refer to journalists. They never got paid.
Yeah.
There was even films about it where I remember the wife going, you need to get a proper job.
Well,
journalism, but this is his passion.
Journalism used to be more than just checking people's Facebook accounts.
That's right.
Yesterday, there was a Unison. There's the threatening strike action at Dundee University.
Okay.
So there's Unison union guys. Quite a nice crowd of people, and they had loudspeakers, and it was old school kind of like, fuck Boris and all this. Big signs up. The boss at Dundee University is on about 250 grand, while they're quibbling over lowly paid people's pensions. So I'm 100% in favour of them. While this is going on, the fucking high school at Dundee spills out, and all these toffee little bastard kids walk past, going, mocking them. They should have turned and just batoned them all to a jammy pulp.
Oh my God.
I got in trouble on Facebook because on my Facebook account, this thing popped up for the high school of Dundee, but their junior thing, their fucking creche or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck's all these posh cunts on my Facebook page for? And all these dads started to get on at me. How dare you? There's children. You should have read what I said to them.
Oh my God.
Fuck them.
Now, what we need to do...
They think I'm in the demographic to have children. Not only do they think I had children, they thought I had children I'd sent to private school. Have they seen me?
But if you sent them there, you could send them on a bike.
I know one person.
Okay.
And I worked with him. He scrimped and scraped, sent both his sons to high school.
Right.
His sons hated him
Oh.
because he'd made them into toffs and they'd look down on him.
Oh my God!
They
Really?
thought he was a turd. So all he'd done, his 20 grand a year, had fucking made his children loathe him and be embarrassed about him.
Now this is. I knew someone who put their kid
Mm-hmm.
to Dundee High.
Mm-hmm.
And this was quite a while ago. This
Yeah.
was the 90s.
Mhm.
90s.
Yeah.
They're a lot older than me. And in conversation with them, I'm not going to say, I'm being careful not to say anyone, but in conversation with them, and with this kid who was 18,
Right.
said, it's funny talking to you because I've never met anyone from Dundee.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And their mother looked at them and went, you're from Dundee, I'm from Dundee, everyone you talk to every day is from Dundee. He went, no, but not the, those people.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And his mother was a poor ass all her life, did well, thought she was doing right by him. Honestly, she
Straight
said,
a monster.
Yeah.
But
he didn't know. He
No,
didn't know.
Well, that's obviously what they're being taught at school.
Yeah.
They're being told about. That's all they get. It's the only difference between ordinary people and the toffs. Confidence. So there's a mission statement in Scotland is to make people feel bad about themselves. It's all pulling each other down, whereas toff build them up.
Yes. And I
It's
think there
just
has to be a
confidence.
balance.
There is nothing. We've been fed this line that rich people are somehow superior to us. They're morons.
Oh, that's true. Because if you're rich, that means you're obviously clever.
No.
You've worked harder.
No.
No, you're born into it.
Just got money.
9 times out of
Made
10.
it easier for you.
And plus,
You'll
money
be-
doesn't...
No,
Yeah,
no. It's all terrible.
doesn't mean anything.
The good thing is they've got horrible relationships with their own children. If you send your children to private school, you've not got a relationship with them. You've cut that ties.
This person I talked about, they went to Glasgow University, right? And from that day onward said they were from Glasgow.
Okay.
They were never from Dundee.
Brian Cox famously did that. Where are you from, Brian? A small town outside Glasgow. He'll have changed his tune now.
Small town, yeah, because Dundee's got a bit of
Aye, a
cachet.
bit of cachet.
So-
And he likes all the wee freedom things he gets with Dundee. The kisses arse a wee
And
bit.
he goes up to university and they've got a wee
big
sash for him.
big fish in a small pond. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
In Hollywood. Oh, see, he's doing quite well in Hollywood. Ah, well, maybe I'm wrong.
That's fine. That's
That
fine.
Dundee face. Ah, well. So
That Dundee patty head.
bicycles.
Bicycles are great, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners.
I've seen some of them. They're very poor, little skinny legs. I doubt it very much.
I've got skinny legs.
So I doubt if any of those people
Power.
cycle.
All power in my legs.
Just all power.
All power. Springy.
Springy.
I've got a lot of. Yeah.
You limp a bit. You've got a certain springiness to you.
That's nerve damage. That's a Susan we hear. That's a Susan. I don't know if this will show up because I'm putting it through this special filter.
Special filter. Imagine it makes it sound weird.
And that was another investment I made in the show.
Oh, Jesus.
I bought a couple of filters.
Try
to
to guilt trip
improve
me
it.
for some reason. I'm not sure.
And what's your investment been in the show?
My time, mate. That's years of my life.
I told you. I said when this starts, I said that we're going to do a podcast. It's my idea. I've got all the equipment. You don't need to put a penny in. And
I've
you
stuck
meant
to-
it. Holy fuck.
I stuck
you
to-
heard that. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, bicycles.
I've got a film we could maybe watch. The Class of 1984. You ever seen that
I
film?
have. It's absolutely brilliant.
We'll have to do that.
Okay. 84 or 99?
84.
84. What one am I? I'm thinking of 99.
You're thinking the Class of Newcombe High or something.
No. What's the one with the robots?
That's the Class of Newcombe High, isn't it?
No.
No.
Class of
Well,
99.
84. It's got punk. We'll have to watch it. We'll have
Class
to
of
watch
84. The class of 1984. Let's do that for
it.
Friday.
Let's do it.
Is this Tuesday?
This is Tuesday.
I've had a very long, confusing week this
I
week.
can imagine.
And
Every week's a confusing week.
It's been a rough week. But it's been a good week, actually. It's been actually a really good week.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Wash your cycled balls. Put your balls through the spin cycle.
When I got home last night, I never felt a thing from the waist down.
But this morning.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I was numb balls, and I went and had a lovely bath for 15 seconds after it. Great. It's worth it. Get yourself a bike.
What a lifestyle.
It's brilliant. Laters.
Ta-da, folks. Ta-ta.